Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. I hope you guys are doing well.
We hope you're doing super well today.
So, we have a lot of increased volcanic activity going around, and some interesting stuff. Really, there's so much here to talk about, but we see increased activity at QiGong, and so that's a submarine volcano. And there is a 1 mile exclusion zone that is to be strictly observed just in case it erupts. And so you see the exclusion zone here, the first and then the second. And this is, as we said, a submarine volcano, and it's showing signs of increased unrest. The latest activity was observed from June 5th to 12th with more than 1,300 quakes. Small quakes, but nonetheless, lots of activity. And in normal times, you'd have probably a lot of cruise ships going through this whole zone. Of course, these are not normal times. And I can't believe I saw an article the other day that was talking about like 40,000 cruise ship employees that are just in limbo. It's crazy what we are going through in this world.
Yeah, they're actually still stuck out at sea. I mean, that's horrible.
So you see increased seismic activity at this volcano results in the emission of gases and reduced density of the water around the summit, but there's currently no tsunami threat for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, or in the region as well. And that's not the only one that is showing signs. Here we see Grimsvötn volcano showing strong signs of impending eruption in Iceland. There's been a lot more activity up in Iceland, and there are signs that we might have an eruption in the next weeks or perhaps months ahead. The last eruption of this one took place in 2011, and it was a large and powerful VEI4 eruption. So average eruption frequency during the last 1,100 years is one eruption per 10 years. So it is an active one. And we have alerts raised after significant earthquakes under Makushkin, volcano in Alaska. So we see, there is increased activity here. There was a VEI5 eruption that took place in 6100 BC or thereabouts. No large eruptions have occurred this century. Small to moderate explosive eruptions have been recorded since 1786. Let's just take a quick peek and see what we are looking at as far as quake activity. And we see right here 5.4 in Egypt, and we have a 4.2 over in Greece. We have a couple up here, not too far away from where there's some scary skirmishes going on right now on the Indian and Chinese border, and we will talk about that over on Evolutionary. 5.0 up in Afghanistan, Tajikistan 5.7, and we see over here we have a 4.4, and this is 36 kilometers west of Trinidad and Tobago. And so QiGong is like right over in this area. And of course, we still have quite a bit of quake activity going on over in Puerto Rico. And things are a little bit quieter over here west of Tonopah in Nevada. You see 124 of 448 quakes. So this is about the lowest we've seen since that bigger one. But there's still activity you see down here, and also over by Mono Lake and Mammoth Lakes. Still activity going on. Still have some over in Ridgecrest area. You got 26, but relatively quiet compared to what we have seen before. Now this is really interesting. We've talked about this in the past, just how much water is under, in the core, and it's more than what's in the oceans.
Which is really, really curious, that it's almost like it's inside out. It's weird.
Yeah, so a reservoir of water 3 times the volume of all the oceans has been discovered deep beneath the Earth's surface. The finding could help explain where Earth's seas comes from. It's a process. The water is a process. And it's hidden inside a blue rock called ringwoodite that lies 700 kilometers underground in the mantle, a layer of hot rock between the surface and the core. So the huge size of the reservoir throws new light into the origin of Earth's water. Some geologists think water arrived in comets as they struck the planet, but the new discovery supports an alternative idea that the oceans gradually oozed out of the interior of the Earth. Okay, so that's interesting because, that might change our idea on some of the flood stories as well. Maybe it's part of a process where more of it oozes out.
Yeah, and maybe it oozes out and it goes up into the atmosphere. It gives you more rain to rain down. There's a lot of ways you can go with that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we definitely have increased seismic activity, increased volcanic activity. All that's adding to what will be the rapid cooling of the planet. So pretty interesting. Good evidence that Earth's water came from within. And the hidden water could also act as a buffer for the oceans on the surface, explaining why they've stayed the same size for millions of years. Very interesting stuff that we are seeing here. Violent tornado injures 12 people, damages 70 houses. This is in India. And as we were saying, there's a lot more going on over there as well. And we see severe thunderstorms rip through the capital of Budapest, Hungary. And we have flash floods that leave 1,500 houses damaged or destroyed, 5,400 affected, and this is in Indonesia. And, in these areas that have been so hard hit, it just seems like it just does not let up at all. And so you have 5,407 people affected, 3 injured, 4 missing still as well. Fatal flooding and landslides. This is in Nepal. And it's one of the dangers of the mountainous regions when you get these, non-stop rains.
Yeah, I would hate to be in a place like that.
So it has left at least 9 people dead, and you have houses damaged. And then we got the record colds, and British Columbia breaks records for cold and snow. It's June 15th, but, it is Canada. Record cold, late spring snow helped drive home the grand solar minimum message across the BC interior over the weekend. So, we have seen this, and we're expecting it. Eventually, we will be, cooling and cooling and cooling. But we have tons of extremes for sure. Northeastern U.S. suffered record cold on Sunday as well. And again, the jet streams, because of the magnetosphere's weakness and getting consistently weaker. So we look at this from the Finnish Meteorological Institute, and we see the red dots. That's snow mass for this winter, 2019-2020. And we see it's riding significantly above. And this is, again, total snow mass for the northern hemisphere, excluding mountains. And it's running quite a bit above what it has been averaging from 82 to 2012. So signs of the next big earthquakes. Oarfish discovered in Mexico and Washington State. And we have a quake cloud over Taiwan. And we have, in less than a week now, we'll have that eclipse, which is going to go over India, over China, and also right over Taiwan. So interesting, very interesting. And so the earthquake cloud appears in the sky over northeast Taiwan. There's a big one coming. And this is a massive oarfish. Look at the size of this guy. And it's rare for these to come ashore and all. So, one of the questions is what's going on out in the seas? Well, we know there's been tremendous die-offs. And then the other thing, too, is, the increased activity as far as the volcanic activity, what's happening out there. And, it's just one thing after another. A lot of unusual things. We have a rare giant squid found alive on western Cape Beach in South Africa. And this is unusual. This is almost a 14-footer. So, what drove this up on shore is still alive and was seen moving at various points. There's video there. They were unable to roll it back into the water. So, what's going on there as well? There's a lot of things. And we see 17 survival uses for PCV or PVC pipes. And one of the things you could do with it too is, you could use it for irrigation.
Yeah.
There's so many things you could do. You can make a survival cache. You could gather wood, make a PVC bow, make a quiver, make a weapon, make a stake, make a canteen, make an ice pack, carry water, make a fishing kit, fishing pole, a periscope, make a storage container, make a clamp, gather things and carry things with it. You can make a target stand, you can make a blowgun, and you could also use it for hydroponics.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You really can. There's so much you can do with that stuff.
Yeah, and so there's a video here for you guys to check out as well. Thank you guys so much for your support on Ko-Fi and on Patreon. Yeah, it's wonderful, and you've been able to keep us afloat through these times. As always, guys, be prepared. Stay safe out there. God bless, and namaste.
Namaste.